and welcome to Unity in Greensboro. My name is Elaine Penn. I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're going to get started by singing a song about the universal power of love. It's an original song, so I'm excited to sing it with you. Some of you already know it. It's pretty simple. The chorus goes, love, love, love. We got love. You know, love is everywhere all around us, but we only have the courage to see it. So let's sing together and let's start this amazing service. Don't you know abundance is around you? Everything in life's prosperity. It could be a blessing or a burden. Guess it all depends on how you see. So choose to see the good in everything. Love, we got love. Yeah, y'all sing with me. Love, we got love. Everyone is in this boat together, so we've got to take it all in stride. There is not a storm that we can't weather if we keep the peace and love inside. Just know life's ups and downs are all divine. Here we go, everybody. Love, we got love. Love, we got love. Let's sing about love. Love, we got love. Love, we got love. So when you think you just can't kick the bad blues, take the time to meditate or pray. Open up your heart to good around you. Miracles will happen every day. Just trust in love and always keep the faith. Love, we got love. Love, we got love. Two more times. Love, we got love. Love, we got love. Thank you.
That was beautiful. It's good to see Elaine's face. We want to welcome everyone to Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. It's wonderful to have this time to connect. Let us pray together. Sweet, sweet Spirit, meld our hearts as one today. Remind us that we stroll this earth as not only one with the sight of God, but with one another. Remind us that when we forget this notion, we feel separate and alone. Remind us we forget our oneness with God, everyone, and everything that makes up our earth. We are as one in every way. Remind us we are pure and holy, made of today. Let us be full souls filled with the love of God and the love of each other, because we are comprised of God. Every place we go, we spread holiness by showing our love, our kindness, our concern for our fellow travelers. We know that all is well today and every day, no matter what the outside world looks like. We never fear what is to come because we live in this moment, in this time, knowing that there is nothing to fear moving forward. We release concern of judgment. We express gratitude for each person present and those with us in spirit who have formed and made this church what it is today. We go forward as one whole body entwined with the Spirit of God. Thank you for each person present, every living, breathing soul on this earth. And so it is.
Good morning, Unity. Hope everyone is well on this beautiful sunny Sunday morning. Now is a great time to invite your loved ones to check us out and enjoy the service along with us. Please take a moment to share our stream on Facebook and YouTube. Liking, sharing, and subscribing are ways you can let people know that you are a part of this loving, wonderful community. Now we're going to take a moment for everyone on Zoom to unmute and greet one another. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please post a greeting.
Good morning, everybody.
Good
Morning,
morning.
everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, my friends.
Hey,
Morning.
Shirley and Joe, just say hi.
Hey,
Good
Chris.
morning, Dawn. Hi, Kathy.
Maria. Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Anita.
Good
Hey,
morning,
Trudy.
ARP.
Hey, Judy.
Hey, Bob.
Good morning.
I can't see everybody.
Morning. Good to see everybody.
There we go.
All right. A lot of energy there. Please join me now in saying our March affirmations. Even though you're muted, please join me and say them along with me. I have the strength to stay on the path to my accomplishments. I ask and God answers every time. Thank you, Chris. Now we'll have our call to worship song performed for us today by Maria Mata.
Thank you, Miss Barbara. So I'm accustomed to singing this song at the end of service. And so if I go off into the words after, forgive me. But I'm also accustomed to reaching out and grabbing hands and making a big circle. Ooh, I hope I don't get emotional talking about that. So let's virtually reach out and grab someone's hand and create a virtual energetic circle as we sing this song together. As you're muted, obviously, but we're still singing it together. So please join me in singing Let There Be Peace on Earth. Hang on, I got to reconnect to my speaker. Sorry. Bear with me. This was all set up before we started. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. God surrounds us. I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Maria. That was beautiful. And I too miss holding hands at the end of service in a circle, looking at each other and singing that beautiful song. We'll be back there soon. Okay, now for our power of the month. Unity teaches that we have 12 divine powers. In March, we celebrate the divine power of strength. The disciple is Andrew, the color is green, and the area it resides in is the loins. The strength of God is expressed through me as stability and poise. Thank you, Chris. Now we'll have our Lent reading with Ron Thompson. Ron, you'll need to unmute.
Technology. Good morning, everyone. The Beatitudes that are set lessons that remind us that on the happiest of days and in the challenging circumstances, we are always blessed. We're studying these lessons this Lent season to help give up things that aren't serving us so well. We can make more time to stay focused on the beautiful Spirit that is always providing us with everything we need. In today's reading, we look at the 5th and 6th Beatitude. They say, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they will see God." By giving mercy to someone, we are choosing to give kindness and love in times when human experience may prefer withhold forgiveness. Every choice we make, every action we take, every word we choose to speak are all step one in the law of giving and receiving. Every time, even that seems like reaction to someone or something else, we are in control of deciding what we will eventually reap by choosing to plant seeds of mercy, seeds of kindness. We will first be shown mercy when we see it feeling coming from us and someone else. And when we are doing that of pure of heart, meaning free from anger or any negative thought, it frees us up to see the good that life has to offer. Practice yourself. Take time to forgive yourself for something this week. Mean it when you say it. That may take some time. Give yourself the gift, that time when you will see more easily God all over your life, your world, and your affairs. And so be it.
Thank you, Ron. And now back to our prayer chaplain. Anita, can you unmute for us?
Oh, here I
Thank
go. Yeah.
There we
I'm
go.
like Ron. I'm like a step behind today. I'm the prayer chaplain on duty today, and no matter what you're going through, I would be honored to pray with you. Through the UIG website, you can do prayer requests at the top of the page, a weekly newsletter, prayer requests, got a link that says prayer request, email prayersfromuig@gmail.com. Together, let us affirm that the loved ones below are whole, perfect, and complete. We are standing with them, knowing that God is already actively working in partnership with each person to grow through the appearance of challenges. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Elaine Penn, Bobby and Suzanne Reebok and family, Brent Minton and the Minton family, Patricia McGregor, Bryson McGregor, Noah McGregor, Mary Margaret Dalton, Billy Evelyn Crouch, friends of Renee Spain, Marie Grace, and her family in New Zealand. And so it is. If
Thank you, Anita. Now for today's announcements. On March 17th at 6:15 p.m., we will have group meditation for all levels, so everyone is welcome to join. Again, it's March 17th, 6:15 p.m. As you all know, we typically have some sort of workshop or service or class on Wednesdays, and we currently have 2 Wednesdays in March still open, March 24th and March 31st. Is there an activity you would like to lead or participate in on Wednesdays? If so, please reach out to Reverend Wally White at revwallywhite@gmail.com. Is that correct, Reverend Wally, Gmail? Great. Join us for a candle making party as a fundraiser for the church on Friday, March 26th. Tamika Carter and her husband Jeff will host us in their new store, the Black Belt Soap Company. To keep everyone safely distanced, we are limited to 10 people. The cost is $40 per person and includes food, a class to learn the art of candle pouring, and you get to take home an 8-ounce soy candle with your choice of scent. This flyer provides the address for you. You may sign up on the UIG website. To reserve a spot, you can choose Candle Party also on Easy Tithe to pay the fee. If you want to write a check, please email Reverend Wally White at Gmail as soon as possible. Thank you, Chris. Our Adult Education Committee is offering The Abundance Book by John Randolph Price as a class. This will be led by Reverend Pat Venema. It will be held on Tuesdays, 6:15 to 7:45, April 6th through May 11th. There is a $60 fee, which is $10 per week, very reasonable for this course. We need a minimum of 8 people to register and pay. Please notify the UIG office if you're interested in this class, or you may go ahead and enroll and pay the fee. Dr. Mitch Bloom will be offering the Holiest Medicine as a class. The day and time are to be determined if we have enough interest. So please notify the office if you're interested in this class, and everyone will be notified when the day and time is selected. It is almost spring, and on Saturday, May 1st, we will be holding a spring fair on Mendenhall Street in the parking lot directly across from Presbyterian Church of the Cross Church. That parking lot we used when we originally started having service there. There will be various vendors and a yard sale. If you are interested in becoming a vendor, please contact this email address, uigactivities@gmail.com. UIG has fast, easy, and secure ways to tithe. One way is to text GIVE to 336-600-1064 and follow the prompts. Again, this is easy, fast, and secure. You'll also find other ways to give on our website or by downloading the Easy Tithe app. Our musician today is Sandy Hemenway, someone we haven't seen in a while. And Sandy, welcome back. We are so glad to have you today. Sandy began playing piano at the Hamilton Baptist Church at age 11. Like so many do, he drifted away from church in his 20s while attending UNC, studying broadcasting and subsequently at NC State studying computer programming. Around 2000, he was drawn to Unity Church of the Triangle, where he not only reconnected with God, but also with his musical gifts and began writing New Thought or posse music. In 2004, he released a CD of original New Thought music called The Road Home. In 2008, he served as music director at Unity Church of the Triangle. Currently, he is working on his second CD and playing regularly at a number of New Thought churches across North Carolina. Please join me in welcoming Sandy Hemenway with special music to be followed by today's message from Reverend Wally White.
Good morning, UIG. It's nice to be part of this family again this weekend. And this song is one where I know everyone is muted in their homes, but it's one that I know you've heard before. And I encourage you in your homes to sing along. It's by Janice Stanfield and Megan McConnell. It's called Amazing Things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. For the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what each day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. amazing things. One more time. Amazing. You do amazing things. Amazing. Amazing. You do amazing things. Namaste.
Thank you so much. Sandy, before you go, I want to ask if we can do that chorus one more time, but invite everyone to sing, I will do amazing things. I got to get you back unmuted there. There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, can we just do one more round? I want everyone to use this as a great time to affirm. We've all affirmed for each other. Now let's affirm for ourselves.
Amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. I will do amazing things.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And so now as we prepare to go into our lesson, let's just take a moment to get into our prayerful position, whatever's comfortable for you. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Focus in on your breath for a moment. Not doing anything intentionally, but just paying attention to the natural process of our breathing. And just taking a moment to give thanks and gratitude for that easy process as it happens. Knowing that everything is already all right, that there is a divine order, a divine design of our bodies, that the day knows just how to shine the sun and then to shine the moon, and that we don't need to know all the inner workings of that. We can just sit back and appreciate it and know that it is taken care of. I appreciate and use so often the prayer and affirmation or mantra or whatever words you want to call it. I am one with God. I am one with all people. I am one with all life. I am one with the one. And so it is, and amen. So good morning, everyone. I'm glad to see so many of you knew what time it was and made it here. There are some with us right now that think it's an hour earlier than it is, and that's cool. They'll spring forward when they're ready. I'm glad you all have spring forward now. I think it's curious that we're springing forward before spring, but spring is days away, right? So I'll take it. I'm going to appreciate that extra hour of sun and appreciate this time with you all now. So I titled today's lesson, Know That You Know. And it's basically from a longer saying, which is, you've got to know that you know what you know. I'll say that again because those words can become their own tongue twister. You have to know that you know what you know. And when you do that, you're standing on a solid foundation that you can't be shook off of, right? So when you know that you know, and somebody's like, well, I don't know, I think it's different. It's like, you don't have to be bothered by that. See, once you really know that you know, it's not important that everybody else knows it. That's theirs to learn when they're ready, right? But you're not going to help them by stepping off of knowing what you know and say, well, I thought I knew it, but no, I know that I know some things. I know that I don't know some other things, right? Except that we are one with God. That's what, if you only know one thing at all, know that you are one with God. God is a lot of things, right? There's a lot of different words that can describe God, but God is omniscient, which means God knows everything, and you're one with God, so you know everything. Now, the immediate reaction to that statement is like, oh no, I can write books. I can fill libraries of books of things I don't know. But here, the thing is you may not readily have the answer to every single question that could ever possibly be asked, but you have the connection to the ability to find out any answers you need to know. There are many things in life most of us will never readily need to know the answer to. And for some of us, it seems like that's the only thing we ever do know, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah, those things where you're like, I can't think of it's right on the tip of my tongue. I'll think of it as soon as I don't need to know it anymore, right? But that's just proof that, like, you know, stuff that you don't even immediately tap into. I was listening to, I think it was a comedian, I don't even remember who, this past week, where it was talking about that they say that we only use like 10% of our brain, and it's like, I mean, what is the other 90% doing? It's collecting its own information. It's probably doing a lot of the stuff that we don't have to think about knowing how to do with our bodies and all that. But we'll let like doctors talk about that later on, right? So the whole point of this, in the month that we're looking at our step of asking within our 12 steps of making our dreams come true, is you've got to get your mind right before you ask, right? So just within the steps of what we're doing, we've looked at our desires. We've chosen one that we're calling the dream that we're going to move forward with. And we've made some decisions about that. And now we're ready to ask questions. Ask questions maybe to get some more clarity. Ask questions of, okay, this is what I'm moving forward with. These are the things that I need for that. And I'm going to ask about that. But before you get to asking, if you're in a, well, I don't know stage, or if you're in a mindset of thinking humility is being like, oh, well, you know, it's just little old me. No, you are one with God. There's no little old anything, right? The humility is knowing that of myself, I can do nothing, but with God, I can do everything, all of it. And that doesn't mean that my hands and feet have to do it all. Many things we can accomplish simply by prayer, and that prayer will connect with somebody across the planet who is inspired just how to do what it is we want done, right? So it's knowing who you are. That's when you know that you know who you are, now you can ask from a place of, I'm asking for something that I know I'm worthy of. We used to sing a song called He's So Worthy, and I didn't like the song because that's almost the entire lyrics of the entire song over and over and over and over. But you know what? It sometimes takes that kind of over and over and over for us to finally get it. Like, you have to say it and say it. And acting exercises, that I used to do was to you take one line and you say it over and over, but you emphasize a different word each time till you find exactly what's right within that character from that perspective, right, of what they're really saying. Because you could change the whole meaning of a sentence when you inflect one word over another word, right? So that's what we're really talking about. And we had a dream check-in this past week that a few of us were at. And one of the things that we found a commonality is that as we set the intention of what it was that we wanted to work on as our dreams, some stuff started flowing, some things started opening up, some fun stuff started happening, some things to like be like, hey, this is working, started going on, right? And then, and I think every one of our cases, there was a moment of hiccup and of like, well, this is not something I would dream for, and this does not make me happy. And my nice, smooth sailing boat just hit a rocky patch that I am not pleased with. Let me go get some motion sickness medicine. I'm not enjoying this moment, right? But so the commonality in that was, yeah, it's okay. Here is the time to know that you know what you know. Because if you don't, and you hit that shaky patch, you might allow yourself to just pop all the way back off the path. And here's the thing, if that happens, it's okay. You can just start it again and you go through it. One of the great things, I've done the abundance book, which Reverend Pat is offering to teach as long as we have enough people. It's a 40-day prosperity plan where there are 10 affirmations and you say one a day. You do the list of 10 4 times in a row. And if you miss one, part of what this book teaches is that it takes those 40 days to create the new habit of thought, right? And so if you miss one day, you have to start back at day 1. That's if you're on day 3 or if you're on day 39. If you miss that one day, you start back over. And it's not to punish, it's to make sure you get that full flow for it to work. And so same thing here. Like if you have the rocky patch, then you either hang on for the ride and know that it's going to smooth back out because you know that you know what you know, or it shakes you off. And rather than now beating yourself up and whooping on yourself, right, for getting shook off, you're like, that's okay. Let me shake it off. And what's that song? I'm not pick myself up, shake. Yeah, that. I love that song. Even though I can't tell you the lyrics right now. And start all over again. It's cool. You got time. You are eternal. You got all the time you need. Now, that doesn't mean to say, oh, I'm eternal. I think I'm going to go take a nap and not work on it at all. Take a nap if you want to. I take them all the time. I enjoy them. But, keep on working on your stuff. Look, here's an added praise report that when I was talking to the group in the check-in time, I was telling them that I was so in the groove that the accountant called and said, all right, you can come pick your taxes up. They're ready. And I'm getting my keys and stuff saying, I wonder how much money I'm going to get back. And I get down there and they're like, well, you owe the federal and the state. Or that's what I thought I heard. And so I was like, I took a hit from that. I'm like, I was like, well, how much money am I going to have to play with? And it's like, you're going to have money for the government, for them to play with. And so it's like, okay, I took it and then I was like, well, let's keep on rolling. And it was several weeks and I wanted to get some other money in place and then pay it. And I was like, let's take this moment to find the gratitude that the money is available to pay. Years ago, when I was living in LA working check to check, I owed almost the same amount of money and I had to set up a payment plan because I didn't have it for them. So right there is a growth that I can be grateful for. Here's the new piece that the people in the check-in don't know either. 2 days ago, I finally sit down to write the checks. The money is going to leave my checking account and go to where it needs to go, right? Write the one to the IRS, envelope gone as far as I'm concerned. Go to write the one to the state, and I'm like, well, where's the envelope? Can't find the slip of paper I need to put the check with. I go back and look at it again. I misunderstood them on that one. I don't owe the state money. The state owes me money. But so now, because I had that part of the process, the money was on its way out. The checkbook was there, pen in hand. I'm writing, the money's going to go away. Now I get to keep that money. And they're going to give me that much money too. So by having that misunderstanding for myself, I got the joy of feeling like I just doubled that money, right? It's all about perspective. And so if it's a moment of, bleh, that's okay. You can take the hit of that for a second but use that blah to then say, now let me find the good in it. Or let me just sit and breathe for a moment. You know, the answer may be like, I ain't no good in this. Just breathe. Breathing may be for a moment. Breathing may be for 3 or 4 weeks. But at some point, you will get a different perspective about it in some way or another. So I have more notes here on, as I was coming to, putting together, and I always like to look at some biblical stories and the metaphysics of it and how that supports it. I couldn't settle in on one. I taught a similar lesson. It's a phrase that I think is very helpful in 2019. And in that one, I used the woman at the well. And when I looked at that, that just wasn't speaking to exactly what I wanted to talk about here today. And then I got some stuff from Deuteronomy and all of this. So I'm going to just kind of skip through a few things here. First and foremost, this is what I want you to know for sure, is in Matthew 3:17, it said, and a voice from heaven said, this is my son who I love, which I am well pleased. Let me say that again because I messed it up twice. And a voice from heaven said, this is my son whom I love, with I am well pleased. The son metaphysically is the offspring, the idea that's coming from the source. That's all of us. The son is the children of. That's you. You are a child of God in whom he is well pleased. If somebody says to you while you're having a good moment, well, who do you think you are? I don't think anything. I know 100% for sure I am a child of God in whom he is well pleased. What else do you want to know? Right? I know that when I am going out to set off to manifest new dreams and bring new things about, well, who do you think you are to make that happen or to have that happen in your life? I am a child of God in whom he is well pleased. That's who I am. And God makes everything so I can have any of it I want because I am one with God. That is all I really want you to know. We can go to lunch now, except I'll tell you a few other stuff. So in Matthew 14, verse 31, well, I'll tell you before, this is where Jesus had invited Peter to come out. Well, Peter actually said, if you're really, who you say you are, then invite me to come out on the water where Jesus was already standing. Well, I find that funny proof. It's like, well, if you're really who you say you are, ask me to do what you're doing. Well, I can ask you to do a whole lot of things. Can you do it is the real question, right? So, but Peter gets out there and is walking and then has doubt and then sank. Immediately, Jesus reached out for his hand and caught him and said, you of little faith. He said, why did you doubt? That's the key part of that. Why did you doubt? And the answer, you can shift that in being like, it's okay, I doubted because now I'm remembering. And the more often I remember, the less I will doubt, right? So just know that if you have a moment of sinking, and that water metaphysically is emotions and the maybes and all that stuff, you're sinking down into that. You want to lift up above that. If you find yourself getting down in it, it's not a beat up moment. It's just saying, oh, I'm doubting. And you'll raise back up. When you remind yourself of who you are, you go right back. It's not magic. It's just getting your mind set right in there, right? So in 1 Corinthians and chapter 3, Paul, who represents the word of the Spirit of truth, and the Corinthians is the love center of our consciousness. So that's where this information is coming from the love center of your consciousness. And Paul says to the Corinthians, do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him, for God's temple is holy, and you are the temple. You are the temple. You are holy. You are one with God. That's just who you are. And anyone, when we're talking metaphysically and we're always talking about our own consciousness, if our other thoughts start to come up against that, but we hold true to knowing that we know, then those thoughts will get destroyed. Those thoughts will just drift away and disappear because they can't stand up against that. So here's kind of an exercise that it would be really fun if we were doing this in person, but I'll invite you ultimately to say some stuff out loud while we're all muted. God is blank. Now I'm going to read out some that I have, but I want you just you can write it down if you got stuff to write with. Just start writing whatever words come to mind, or just speak out loud to yourself. If somebody else is in the house, it's okay. They can think you're talking to yourself for a minute. It's fine. Eccentricity is cool. So God is love, good, great, light, peace, joy, happiness, abundance, all things good. Those are just a few that kind of came to me as I jotted it down for a few minutes this morning. Think about those words that you wrote down that you're attributing to this is who God is. God is this, right? Now, in Exodus 3:14, God and Moses been having a conversation, right? And then God's like, now go tell the people this. And Moses is like, well, who am I supposed to tell them that it was? Moses is like, I mean, I'm supposed to say the campfire, talk to me, and the answer was in 3:14, I am who I am. And then he added, say this to the people of Israel. Israel is your illumined thoughts. The people of Israel are your illumined thoughts. Say this to your illumined thoughts. I am has sent me to you. I am is the name of God. I am is also the only way that we can describe ourselves, that no one else can say it for us. Only us can say it. It is the name of us as well. So those names that you just gave when you said God is love, God is whatever words you say. Now I invite you to say those again with God's name, I am. I am love. I am good. I am great. I am light. I am peace. I am joy. I am. Say those names to yourself. And say that as often as you can today, this week, as it comes up, because you know that. Now know that you know that. And thank you for being here today. I love and bless you all. All right, well, now is the time where we give to our church. And as you know, that even though we're meeting virtually, there's still a physical space and there's still financial obligations. And we had a great report last week. For those of you that weren't there, most of you I think were, but kind of one of the cool things that came from the financial information was when we went to apply for a second round of the PP, the federal program that would help pay some bills for a little bit. We didn't qualify for the second one because you had to show a loss in income between 2019 and 20. And you all had actually made us better than 2019. So we're getting there. Now, we still don't every month always pay all the bills with what comes in, but all the bills are getting paid and we're growing as we go. So now is the time that we give to the church. And so if you have that with you, I invite you to place it in both of your hands. If not, I invite you to place your hands on your heart and let us say this prayer together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. And now I am grateful to invite Sandy back to bless us with some more music.
I'm blessed to be here. This song is from The Greatest Showman, and I think is just a wonderful example of New Thought philosophy. called A Million Dreams. I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams are all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled with things so far away. The special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our mind. I don't care if they call us crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world can be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams are all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along. To the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me. A million dreams, a million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams are all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Wow, that was incredible, Sandy. I love that song and I love the way you did it. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. If you'll join me in prayer, let's give thanks for these blessings. Let's pretend we have a prayer box and we pray for anyone that we might pray for at this time. We're going to add that in right now. Be thinking of who you'd like to pray for. Let's pray for the blessing. Please join me in prayer. We meld our hearts and minds in this moment We realize our fortune to be included in a community of like-minded individuals. We are thankful for each perfect child of God present today, and we honor everyone's spiritual path as we travel together on an awakened journey to become our highest, best selves. Let us express gratitude for all our many blessings. We invite situations and wonderful people into our earthly experience. And when those gifts come to us, we express our gratitude and allow appreciation to fill our hearts so that we draw more of the same to us. We revel in the perfection of these positive forces and speak of them to anyone who listens, especially ourselves. Love is our decision. We are love expressed. We are impeccable with our words. We tell ourselves how beautiful we are because we are. We tell others how beautiful they are because they are. We are love expressing in the world. We are God mind. We hear the positive affirmations coming from our mouths, and we attract fortuitous interactions that we could never have imagined. We realize that there are miracles included in our everyday lives today and every day. Our dreams are coming true. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you all for being here today, whether you're with us on Zoom and Facebook Live and YouTube a little later on. I thank you for joining us in whatever way works best for you and being a part of this community. And so I just want to remind you that this week on Wednesday at 6:15, there'll be a meditation time. I think Charlotte leads it this month. Charlotte and Rod trade off on that. And that we are taking, I may have forgotten Mia to ask her to put the candle making party on Easy Tithe. If not, it will show up tomorrow. But if you even want to go ahead and give today, you can just put a note, or you can do it in the general and then email me to let me know that you've done it, and I'll make sure that it gets on the right list. That can only be a total of 10 people. So, but we do want to go ahead and fill that up as soon as possible, because for the electronics of I bought some stamps for the check and I put in a reimbursement, and it took a little over a month for me to actually get the check. So we want to make sure that we get the money to Tamika and her business as soon as possible. So we got to fill up the slots first. And then same thing, we want to make sure that for Reverend Pat to offer the class, which will be all the Tuesdays in April and the first two in May, she needs for that to be, well, worth her time is what's coming up for me. I wish I had different words, but that we need at least 8 people to pay for that. And anything above that will become a fundraiser for the church as well. Adult Ed is working to continually offer the church and the community things in as many different ways. And if we're not offering something that you'd like to see, let us know, and we'll see where we can work that in as well. And then if you are a potential vendor or you know a vendor, please let us know. We're going to do this in conjunction with the Presbyterian Church. So there are only, from what we can figure out, working out the space and making sure people are distanced and all that stuff, about 25 spaces. And so we're not charging any vendors for the space. We're only asking people to tithe or give love offerings off of what they do. So we need the people in. The first 25 to claim the spaces are the 25. So, and that's going to go out through various people. So let us know as soon as you think you can on that, or reach out to other friends of yours. They don't have to be a member of this community. Let me be clear on that. All right. And next week, ask, seek, and knock is what we will be discussing. And that's a biblical verse that most of you probably know in some way or another. And Elaine Penn is due to be with us. She's had some wrist surgery, I think, this week. And so that's why she didn't sing with us last week, but she will be back with us this coming Sunday. And so now we're going to unmute so that people can talk for a few minutes here on Zoom. And then we're going to have a conversation that Linda Dunn, as part of the Adult Ed, will lead a conversation about what all has come up for you all here today. So we'll say goodbye to Facebook and YouTube and let everyone chit chat here for a moment. Oh yes, thank you, Chris, because I sometimes take off and forget stuff. Before we do all that, before we say goodbye, let us say the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now say your I ams today. Understand who God is and say it out loud as the I am of who you are too. God bless.